All right, welcome back, everyone, to the 2023 Lancaster Archery Classic here at Spooky Nook Sports Complex. We are about halfway through, a little past halfway through our matches today, our finals matches. We wanted to bring you into our broadcast booth on PJ Riley, sitting alongside all-world archer Paige Pierce. Paige, thanks for being here today.
Thanks for having me.
This is going to be awesome. We're going to go through the Youth Female Open class, but before we do that, Paige, we want to take a look at what's yet to come. Youth Female Open, of course, we mentioned. Then we've got Women's Barebow and Barebow. They're the two big finales we've got here. How did we get here? So we qualified the top 4 in this division, Youth Female Open. They're coming in here. They're ranked 1 to 4. There were, what did we see? 71 young ladies competing in this class. As they were ranked, ties were broken by 11s. We're going to do a bottom-up format, meaning number 4 shoots against number 3. The winner goes against number 2. Someone shoots against number 1. Unique to our finals here is the 12 ring. You're going to see when we show the targets, there is a 1.5 centimeter white dot in between the 7 and 8 line. That is going to count 12 points. You can earn a maximum 136, and you must call for that 12 in order for it to count, and you can only call it once per end. So, Youth Female Open, we are going to go out to the floor here and bring in our archers.
Howdy, folks. How are we doing this fine Saturday afternoon? Soon we are going to start the Youth Female Open division. And coming out now is Rendyn Brooks from Grandview, Texas, coming in for 4th place. She qualified 7th, and so now she is here at the shoot-ups. Let's welcome her. Her opponent will be Chloe Nelson from West Bend, Wisconsin, and she is 3rd place and qualified 5th. So let's welcome her out to the stage.
All right, Paige Pierce, you have been on the LAS Classic Finals platform many times. What is going through these young ladies' heads right now?
You know, I think the worst part about starting your match is the anticipation of not knowing what it's going to feel like, what it's going to look like when you draw back. Like, is your first shot going to fire? And so for me, it's more the build-up beforehand. Once you're out there and you draw your bow back that first time and you shoot, it's like, all right, it's go time. You know what to expect. But right now, I feel like it's just that panic of like, okay, let's go. What's it going to be? I feel that every time, still to this day.
Every time?
Yep.
How many times have you shot in the finals?
Actually, 3.
3, okay.
And I didn't start shooting this until later because I didn't really shoot indoor.
Right, yes.
So I came in 3rd my first time, and I finished in 3rd, I think. And then the last 2 years, I went in 1st and finished 2nd. And then I'll be here again this year, tomorrow.
And you are our #1 seed, but we're hoping that things turn out different this year.
I'm going to try my best. You're off to a solid start.
All right, so yes, Rendyn Brooks and Chloe Nelson we are looking at here. That is Chloe on the far side. Rendyn is closest to us. What are you seeing that's, you know, making you think, all right, these archers are in the zone or not?
Yeah, you know, Rendyn looks really solid right now. Good anchor point. You can kind of see Chloe's backhand shaking just a little bit, which is normal. And a lot of the times you won't even see that in your sight picture, so it's kind of one of those shakes you can get away with. Yeah, you can see it on her backhand there just a little bit. But honestly, her front arm and her front hand looks decently solid considering, so it's a little bit tall there. A lot of the times in compound, that'll happen if you leak pressure on the back end, and as you kind of start shaking, it's hard to be strong.
Right.
A lot of times you see those high shots. That may be what's happening.
Got an 11.99 from Chloe and a 10.10. That one's close.
Yeah, probably 3 10s, if I had to guess, for Rendyn. It's a solid start, honestly. It's hard coming out there from, you know, they just came from a room, different lighting. You come out here on the stage, you add different lighting and the nerves. And I feel like a lot of times it takes a couple arrows to get comfortable and get sighted in.
I shoot from Wicked Archery in Richfield, Wisconsin.
Okay, very good. And how long have you been shooting for?
About 5.5 years.
Great. Well, it's great to have you here. And how about you? Tell us where you're from and what club do you shoot for?
I'm from Grandview, Texas, shoot for Alvarado Archery.
Okay, great. And how long have you been shooting for?
About 6 years.
Great. Well, welcome to the Classic stage.
Casey Caulfield out there running the mic on the floor. We have a 30-29. So we were talking about this in the last match with Casey. The archers here who are shooting up. Well, you've been in that position actually where you're number one. Talk about why that's different. You know, if you come out and your first match is the only match because it's the last match.
Yeah, so I truthfully think that it's almost a negative to qualify at the top. And obviously you want to be there because you have the guarantee of being on the podium. You're like, cool, I'm going to be there. I'm going to be second, whatever.
Second's your worst.
Yes.
Right.
But it's really tough. Like always for me, when I come out there, my first end is my nerviest end. And it gets easier as you go. And most people are that way. So when you're coming out against somebody who's already sighted in, they're already comfortable, and they've already worked through those nerves. They figured out their shot timing, and you're coming out cold. There is no room for error. And I will say I looked back at like the women's scores, for an example, last year, and I was like, okay, my first round score would have beat the other people's first round scores, right? And every time when you look, often that's the case, but then their second round score improves by like 4 or 5 points. So it makes it really tough. This format is interesting because, you know, you look at it and you're like, well, I don't really want to be third or fourth, but maybe I do.
Maybe I do.
So it's interesting watching these people come up and see, you know, if the higher seed wins or not. I think that's so interesting here.
So this age group, Youth Female Open, 11 to 17, and I mean, we've got some pretty strong shooting this end. So it seems like they have figured some things out.
They're getting calmer. They're getting comfortable. Honestly, this is exciting for me to be here because this is the future of our division, right? Like these are the women that we're hoping to be in the pro class here very shortly. And look at that. I mean, obviously, I think they could hang.
11, 11, 11.
That's
That is
awesome.
great. I think Casey's going to go out and talk to some of
Very
these
nice
archers.
shooting, both of you. Let's talk about your equipment a little bit. What are you shooting?
I shoot a Matthews 2X36. I have an Excel sight, shrewd scope, and a feather vision lens. I have a Hamsky Trinity Arrow Rest with a Hamsky Peep. I shoot Conquest stabilizers. I have a True Ball HBC release and Black Eagle PS26s.
Very nice. Well, you're shooting it well. And how about you? Let's go over your equipment.
I have a PSC Citation 36 with threads strings. I have a Excel sight, shrewd scope, Hamsky rest, shrewd stabilizers, Black Eagle PS26s, and a Carter Just Because.
Just because. I like it. Alrighty. So let's look at scores here. We have a 62 to a 62, all tied up going into the third end.
So, Paige, we've got two very different resumes here as I'm looking at it. Chloe Nelson is a Vegas champion and indoor nationals champion.
Oh, wow.
Rendyn Brooks, USA 2022 World Field Team qualifier, two-time NFA field champion. So
She's more up my alley. That's really cool.
some outdoor archers.
You know what I think is neat, though, is like this is just showing that, you know, indoor is for everyone, right? And this is the one venue that you see target people, 3D people, field, all of the above will cross at this game. And I think that's really cool, and I think that's why we put so much weight on indoor, because it's truly the best of the best from all of the different organizations.
Right, right.
And you're going to see that here today and
You're
tomorrow.
one of those few that has won at all the disciplines, field, indoor, 3D, Reading, whatever.
Yeah.
All those.
I think every different discipline you shoot has something good to teach you, and you know will carry over into the next one. And
For sure.
yeah, I think it's interesting to see two girls with such different backgrounds go head to head.
Yeah,
That's pretty cool.
definitely.
They're shooting really strong out there now. The coolest thing about Lancaster scoring too is having the X's in 11.
Right.
I think that means a lot just because it really shows who hits the middle the most. You know, you can hang 10 and okay, that's great, but if the next person shoots 3 11s, they're actually getting to see that on the scorecard.
Right.
I think that's pretty neat.
So at what point are you thinking 12?
I feel like you should probably be down, and it should probably be near the end.
Okay.
Because the thing is to hit it in the first or second end, unless you're like some crazy compound man, and we'll see one of them do it tomorrow, I'm sure. But I think the risk is so high that I feel like, you know, if you can win the match aiming at the middle, hitting 11s, the chance, if you hit an 8 or a 7 in our class, you're done.
Yes.
There is no coming back. And so I feel like at the point that you've lost and that's your chance to not lose, at that point, I think it's worth it.
Yeah. Yeah, you mentioned archers coming out of the gate shooting at the 12. We saw Dave Cousins do that last year.
Well, he's crazy. I feel like that explains it. It's Dave Cousins, okay? He's also won about everything you can win, so I'm not surprised he did that.
Well, but at the time, if you'd been paying attention, Steve Anderson and Greg were in the booth here, and they were saying, hey, every archer who's coming out is hitting
hit low, I think it was.
Low,
and
yeah.
I hit low, too.
Yes, exactly. And so maybe, hey, get your feet wet first.
Yeah.
Then try for that.
And that's
12.
the other thing, too, is like I said, sometimes you got to adjust to how your body's feeling, maybe click your sight a few clicks from the lighting. And so I think it's crazy if you just come out there and do that first thing. But I actually shot at my last arrow, I think, and I hit it. Miracle.
Yes.
I was like, oh, that was scary. But no, it's a really cool thing. I mean, it's a different element to think about when you're out there, too. You know, and for these girls, I mean, their match is incredibly tight.
Yes.
And so, you know, I
You
think
don't believe in it as a knockout punch. I know Kyle Douglas tried that. It didn't work.
Yeah. I don't know. When they first came out with it, I was a little like, I don't know. But I feel like it does make it interesting. It's cool for the crowd when people get to shoot it. And the whole point, you have to call it. It's really neat, too.
Right.
That makes it exciting. But, yeah, I mean, I'm thinking when we see people use it, it's going to be toward the end of the round. If, you know, they're thinking about it, I feel like.
Yeah. Yeah, these two.
11.
It's
Nice
funny.
shooting.
Chloe looks surprised at every shot. Like,
Yeah.
I can't believe that went off. And they're all going
And,
in the middle.
Yeah, I would agree.
She's going for the 12.
Oh, we have a 12 call here.
Oh,
Okay.
see, here we go. She's getting down to the end, and she's down, so she needs it. Oh, come on.
Ooh, that's close.
Oh.
Oh,
That is really close.
that is right there.
I mean, that's a good shot. It is hard to aim at that. Like, that's really impressive that she just pulled that off, no matter what it scores.
And how about that for a response?
Wow.
So,
Yeah.
so Rendyn's really thinking, I really
So-
hope I hit that.
So if she hit that, we have a tied ball game. So
Yeah.
that's the perfect instance where it's at the end, she's down, and she needs it.
Yeah.
If she'd missed, she was going to
She
lose
was
either
done.
way. Yeah. More or less, unless the other girl gave her one. But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can't bank on that. That's really
That
exciting.
sure looks like it.
I think it's there.
Very good. Well, we'll wait for
It looks like you can't
Come
tell if
on.
that's a shadow.
Give us a better angle. That's exciting. This is the first one I've seen today.
Yeah. Jennifer
Oh, come on.
Lau is our judge. She
Oh,
got off
no.
that one pretty quick.
I know.
So
Someone
she
give
called
us a
it.
thumbs up or a thumbs down.
Yeah, usually I like to ask them,
I know.
hey, give me the 12.
Yeah,
Did
let
you
us
get
know.
it? Yes or no?
All right, it looks like she did hit the 12.
She got
Yeah, that's awesome. Ooh, the crowd just exploded in here. That's so cool. Good for Rendyn.
She couldn't believe it.
That's
and was it,
yeah. It's impressive.
that was our last end. All right, here we
So-
go. Shoot
so,
off.
Yeah, so you want to walk us through what that looks like?
I'm really lucky.
Here goes Judge Larry Wise, I believe, is going to give us our
Ladies,
explanation.
we have a tie. So we will break that tie with a one-arrow shoot-off for score. If the score is still tied, we'll shoot a second arrow each for score. Should you still be tied after that, we will shoot one arrow each closest to the center.
So
Are we good?
now I have a question
Okay.
because we just did it different today in the mat and like qualifying.
It is different.
So it is
in
different here.
Yes.
Okay.
we do it different in the finals. Correct. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Score, and I mean, you want to really go for the knockout.
Yeah.
Shoot that 12.
Oh, and it's in play now too,
It is
right?
in play,
That's
yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, but it's for score if they're
So,
tied. For score if they're
Here's
tied.
where it's tough because they're obviously going to shoot one at a time. Let's say she hits an 11. is it safer to just shoot for the 11 and keep it going, or shoot for the 12 and claim the win? Because it's easier to hit the 11 because you're used to aiming like that.
Yes.
Okay, now definitely shoot for the 11.
Shoot 11, yeah.
Yeah, the odds are much higher when you're aiming where you're used to aiming.
11.
Oh,
She did it.
There we go.
There we go. What a good arrow.
That 12 paid off.
It
I mean,
did.
that was the lifesaver.
How exciting. And it's crazy. I mean, that really did change the outcome of the match.
Totally.
So, that's impressive. Good for those girls. How cool. So Rendyn's going to be staying out here with us for another match.
That's awesome.
To Chloe Nelson, who will be going on with $250 for 4th place in the Youth Female Open Division.
Chloe shot really well. She was consistent
Definitely.
throughout the whole match. A little bit shaky on that first in, and once she worked through that, man, she was solid. So
Yeah.
it's impressive.
That's what we like to see. That's what the 12 ring was put in for, to just tip it the other way.
Yep.
Coming in is Leann Drake from Lexington, Montana. She is coming in as the 2nd place seed, and she qualified 3rd. Let's welcome her. Excuse me, Missouri.
All right, Leann Drake says she has 4 national titles. Doesn't say in what disciplines, but 4 national titles. She's been shooting for 6 years. has
Rendyn said
Leann.
6 years as well, so they're
Yeah.
pretty evenly matched on time behind the bow.
All right, you just won that match, Rendyn, in that crazy fashion at the end. Boosting your confidence, or did it take you off your game?
You know, whenever I see someone do something really good like that, I always think there's going to be a come down now. For her sake, I hope not.
Right.
But yeah, she just took a big, deep breath there. It's really hard to even win a match not in that fashion, right? Because you get that rush of adrenaline, and then you have to just suppress it and go right back to shooting. And a lot of the times we get the rush of adrenaline at the end, we finish, and we're done.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's a really hard thing to learn to recover from that quickly, and I hope she does.
Oh, we have our. Oh, they just changed the scoreboard. There we go. So Leann opens with an 11.
That's impressive. There we go.
Rendyn,
She did it.
inside out.
That's awesome. It's really impressive, too, for Leann to come out here and start, you know, that strong.
11, 10, 9.
Like I said, a lot of the times it's the nerves, it's the sight, and it's all those things. And so
Right.
she came out solid, which is what you got to hope for.
So, I believe we're seeing there that Rendyn's shooting PS26s. I don't know what size Leann is shooting over there, but I think
26
26s
as well.
27 is the max. Is that just too much? What do you shoot?
So I actually shoot the PS27.
You do shoot
But I
27.
was shooting with Danelle earlier today, who shoots the PS26. So a lot of the girls with shorter drawing, lighter poundage that are kind of on that cusp, 26 still gives them a large diameter, but I think it's easier for them to get it to spine out.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right, Casey's going to introduce our archers here.
Welcome to the stage. Tell me a little bit about yourself and where you're from.
My name's Leann Drake. I'm 16 years old and I'm from Missouri.
All right, and what local club or JOAD do you shoot for?
I shoot for Ozark Target Archers out of Missouri. So
Okay, very nice. And who do you have standing behind you today?
my dad.
Very nice. Well, we welcome you here. Waiting on some official scores.
All right.
All right, we are 32-32, tied going into the second inning.
Tied at 32.
All right.
Going into the second end. Now, if you are Rendyn and you have hit that 12, does that give you confidence to feel like, okay, if I need to, I am going to go for it again, whereas Leann may be more hesitant?
Yeah, I think so. I think once you've aimed there, you've executed a shot aiming somewhere you're not used to aim, and you did it. I think for sure. I think I could see her doing that again if she needs it. And honestly, I think there's a good chance she would hit it again, having that confidence from the first time.
Right. Talk about that difference of what that's like, because everything else you're shooting in the concentric. You're shooting the middle of all those circles, whereas that white dot is not concentric to anything.
Yeah, I mean, I think one thing that's difficult for people is dot size or fiber size.
Right.
Because very often that dot's so small when you try to aim down there, it's going to cover it. And so, you know, hopefully if you're someone who's going to make it out on that stage, you've had this target and you could practice. But it may be that you center from the, you know, the bottom of the yellow to the bottom of the blue, right? Maybe your dot's that big. You know, or you look and you try to find a space, you know, evenly between the two colors. And so it's different because a lot of people are not going to be able to see that behind their pin. And
Right.
the scariest part's when you're aiming at it and you start looking to make sure you're on it. If your bow breaks, you're done for.
Yeah.
And it's obviously going to be something in the red ring or worse. So
Nick Cappers was our champion last year at Open Pro, and he would actually take clicks out. He had worked it out that he
Yeah.
could put it underneath.
he would just
to
move his
see
sight.
it. Yeah.
So I think what he did, he aimed in the middle the entire time. And he had
Oh,
a
right,
separate
right,
sight
right.
set.
Yes, yes. You're
And
correct.
so I think what's so cool about that is it allows you to feel good about your aim and execute a clean shot.
You're
And
correct.
obviously, if you can hit the X ring, you should be close enough to hitting that. And that was a strategy I never considered. And when he did that, I was like, wow, we're going to see more people come out next year with that. And you have to be a quick shooter because obviously you got to put your sight back and forth, right?
You better be confident in your click number, too.
Yes. Yeah, you better have that written down somewhere.
We were at Reading one year when you used to move your sight.
Oh, yeah,
And I
still
remember
do.
you saying someone was talking to you and you're like, hold on, I'm counting my clicks, don't disturb me.
Yeah, it was like
You were
36
moving
clicks to the left. I was like, hold on.
for the 100-yard target.
Yep, I had to
was. run
run my scope from all the way out to all the way in to clear it. But yeah, that was a really impressive strategy that Nick came up with. And
Yeah.
obviously it worked. So that's interesting. I mean, I didn't see Rendyn do that. She just aimed at it.
Right.
Which is, again, impressive in its own right in a different way. But
65-64, Rendyn has the lead here. Going into our third end. Youth Female Open. 11-17 are these archers.
they really are putting up some impressive scores. That's going to be a close arrow. Looking at that.
So, when you were this age, were there this many archers shooting at this level?
No. I can confidently say no.
Right.
I think that's one really cool thing for target archery that we've seen. You know, I say all the time, we need more women, we need more girls, but really we just need more archers in general, right?
Right.
And so to see people like Bodie and Lico and everybody out on this stage, and it's like, wow, like how good they are. And events like this that give them the experience to work through their nerves, to be in a finals venue, to shoot alternating format, like it's preparing them for such great things later in their career. They don't even realize how lucky they are. Like, I didn't
Right.
have this.
Yeah.
I didn't get this. I wish I did. This, it just wasn't a thing. I never did it. I didn't shoot indoor. I lived where it was warm all the time. And so it's so neat seeing, the experience that these events are giving these kids. I know, obviously Lancaster gives them the shoot up just like everybody else. I think Vegas made some youth divisions, and I've seen them down in the shoot down. And so all of those experiences are going to make these people so much better as they blossom into, adult open divisions or pro divisions later on.
We just saw matching 33s right there. Although that Rendyn, that arrow
First
right
arrow
there.
is kind of close.
Yep. That's going to, especially at 26. 27, that's probably in, but I have a feeling she's going to call
There's a
this one
hole
back.
there, and
Yep.
that makes it tough because you're trying to recreate that line, and it's obviously not the easiest thing to do when it isn't there.
Right. I think Judge Jennifer Lau is going to call that one a 10.
I think so too, but
Waiting on an official call here.
We will see here. Yeah, but so you've been one of, yep, there it goes.
there we go.
We switched
So
it
back
to a
to a
10.
tied score.
So you've been one of those advocates, I've certainly seen it, to get more women out there at the ASA. You pushed for that women's known pro,
Yep.
and we are going to have it. And I mean, you then go and win these things, but hey, you just want more women to come out and shoot.
I do. Obviously I'm new to ASA, and looking at that, there's way more people that shoot in the known divisions than the unknown. And speaking as someone who obviously I'm shooting a bow is still my job, but in different formats, there's a lot of people out there that can't afford the targets, land to put a range, time to learn to
Right.
judge. And so I think for growth purposes in the future, we can hopefully welcome a lot more people, a lot more women into that division that can still have a life outside of judging 24/7. So
Right.
that was my hope. We'll see how that goes. But
Hey, we're going to see it this year. ASA kicks off in a month. But for now, we are here. Youth Female Open. Rendyn Brooks opens with an 11. Leann
and,
matches.
yeah, she answers. This is a really great match.
This is high-level archery here
Yeah.
from folks that are just teenagers.
I know, it's so impressive. Oh, okay, that one got away from her. She just got to shake it off and move on to the next one. But this will open the door for Leann.
She now looks more comfortable than when she first shot.
She does. I think some of the hardest arrows you shoot is that arrow Leann just shot, following up after somebody missed.
All right.
Because your heart, as soon as you hear that they missed, it's like, oh, you know,
I need
you
it.
get that. Oh,
I have to have it.
Or if they hit it, it's just kind of like, okay, par, keep going, keep going. They give you one. And I think she did a really good job at following up with that. Oh, she tried.
Oh, she did
tried
call the
for a
12. I didn't even see it. I missed it.
Yeah, she tried for it, but you know what? Good for her.
Long hold.
Yeah. She'll be fine.
Oh, she got
Nice
it.
job.
Oh, back-to-back 33s for Leann.
Yeah, she looks just really calm
She does.
and really focused.
How do you feel being up on the stage? Is it fun?
Yes, it's definitely a lot better than it was last year. So
Okay, were you up on the stage last year?
yes,
Okay, much more comfortable this time, you think?
yeah, for sure.
Okay. Were you shooting very well, both of you?
That is our match there. Leann Drake
Wait on official scores.
waiting for official, but it looks like 130 to 125.
All right, looks like we have Leann Drake with a 130 and Rendyn Brooks with a 125. So Rendyn
Wow.
Brooks will be third place, going home with $350. Congratulations.
You know what? And good for her for calling that 12. Like, that takes guts.
For sure.
And that's awesome. I think hearing Leann talk about, you know, last year was more stressful and this year, that just goes to show how important these experiences are for them to get comfortable.
Definitely.
Boonville, Indiana. She qualified first and is coming in at first seed. Let's welcome her.
All right, Gracen Fletcher we have here. 2022 NFAA Field National Champ. Something you're familiar
Awesome.
with. Two-time S3DA 3D National Champ. So she's got some chops to her game as well.
Let's see if we can add, you know, a Lancaster Classic title to that list.
Absolutely. Judge Larry Wise running over the rules and instructions. She did move Leann off of her shooting spot.
I think that's a good strategy.
You don't want them to be too comfortable out there.
Yeah. The lighting is a little bit different depending on the left to right side.
From left to right.
Yep, and so you're kind of hoping just that little bit of a bump might change something,
Right.
honestly. Otherwise, you wouldn't be doing it. And that's just kind of part of this game.
So now shooting first, second here. Gracen comes in and she has to shoot first. What's your preference?
First,
You
for
want to
sure.
shoot first.
Yeah, it's just nice. I don't mind so much at the beginning arrows, but that final arrow, when they're done and you got to shoot the third one, that's a tough
Gotcha.
arrow.
Right, right.
So if I had my pick, I would choose first.
Yeah, but you're thinking more of the end than the beginning.
Yes,
She said, yeah.
100%.
11.
Got it.
She threw that one a little bit, and she got it there.
Got some English into it.
Mm-hmm.
So Gracen shooting a thumb button there.
Yeah.
That's
10.
a big
Clean
silver
shot.
trigger. I thought Leann was shooting a hinge. Or actually, no, the camera's always been on
Yeah,
this
I know.
side.
It's like I can't see.
Yeah.
11.
Arrow. She has a really strong, forceful shot.
Yeah.
Strong follow through. You can tell she's definitely adding tension through her shot. Same, you can see her pushing there with her front arm as she's executing. So I'd say she's a couple clicks left. Yep, she's clicking her sight now, which is a good call. And this is the hard part about coming in second.
Right.
Well, let me rephrase that. Coming in. You're in first.
Yes.
Coming into the finals, then you're second.
You got to, you're going up, and Leann's just keeps throwing down
Yeah,
33s.
Leann's sighted in, and she's comfortable. And so,
How are you doing
you know,
today?
it's a tough spot for Gracen.
Tell me a little bit about yourself, where you're from, and what club you shoot for.
I'm from Boonville, Indiana. I shoot for Blackhawk. I shoot a Hoyt Stratus. I shoot a B3 sight, bowfinger scope, shrewd stabilizer, shrewd rest, and Easton Superdrive 27s.
Is this your first time at the Classic?
Second time.
All right, well, we welcome you back.
So, Paige, now that you're in here, this is a good time. You're a good person to ask this. So I see the comments from people who are like, don't do the interviews, don't disturb them, you're making them nervous, freaking them out. And I know Rob does that for 2 reasons. He instituted that. 1, so they can talk about their equipment, let's see what they're shooting, but also so we can get to know these people. A lot of times you see them at tournaments, we never hear you speak.
Yeah,
We don't
that's true.
even know what your voice sounds like. What are your thoughts when you're getting, and I stuck the microphone in your face last year. What's,
You know, I think it's actually a really unique element to this tournament. And in a way, I actually like it because it's a distraction. So I've always
That's what
said,
Casey said,
like
yeah.
when I'm up there and I'm on the line and it's go time, I'm going to focus on archery. But as soon as I'm not actively shooting, I want to think about anything but what I'm doing in that moment. Because obviously, it's just going to stress you out a little bit more.
right, right.
And so I kind of like it because instead of worrying about, oh man, I'm 1 up or I'm 1 down or we're tied, it's like, oh yeah, I shoot this bow and this arrow.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah,
It kind
yeah.
of gives you a little bit of a break. But for a lot of people who aren't comfortable talking in front of a crowd, it's probably more terrifying than actually shooting their bow.
So I can tell you when I'm out there, I try and sense that. If someone doesn't feel comfortable, I don't push them on it. But
Yeah. I think it is neat, though. You'll get to see some standouts. I remember Jacob Marlowe
Oh,
just
yeah.
had the crowd rolling out there. And I mean, it makes it fun. And I think that is really, really cool.
Yeah. I like to see the personalities as they come out. There was one of the youth male recurve.
Recurve. Yeah, he was
He
funny.
was crazy.
He was hilarious. I was sitting with his group of people, and they were just laughing.
So I
So-
believe I saw there Gracen
Tell me a little bit about
with
your
a
equipment. What are you
3-point
shooting?
lead.
Yeah, they both, I think, have some arrows out that end. It's just a matter of how many.
A freak show.
Yeah, unofficial,
Yeah.
65,
a
62.
Advantage X stabilizers.
Oh.
An Abyss Flex, and I shoot PS 23s. Or 26s, I'm sorry.
That's okay. Well, it seems to be shooting well. All right, official scores for the second end. We had Gracen with a 31 and Leann with a 32. So Gracen has a total of 62 and Leann a total of 65 going into the
All right, so we did here 65, 62, 2 ends to go, 3 points.
Yeah.
What's your strategy?
Well, I mean, basically at that point, you're thinking, okay, if you're Gracen, I just can't miss, right? But there is that 12 in play. And so with 2 ends to go, I don't know. This is where I'd be torn. They'd be saying go for it, and I'm probably not, and I'd regret it. But, I mean, the other hard part here is Leann is so solid. I don't know that she's going to give up 3 points, so I feel like to gain back, you're going to have to probably hit a 12. And the bad part for Gracen there, and this is why I said the 11 scoring is very unique, is her arrows were barely out. You know, all 3 of those were very solid 10s, but they just were barely off that X ring. And that's the difference between winning and losing on this stage.
Right. There's 2 11s from Leann.
Yep.
Grayson's got to be thinking about it because she needs 3 points, and at best she can get 2
Yeah.
if Leann stays on this
If
pace.
she hits 2 12s, then, I mean, she only needs 1 point given back. And that's
Yeah.
possible.
I think she goes for it after this shot. If
I
she
kind
hits
of
it.
hope so. I would do the same. I'd wait for the 3rd
There we
arrow.
go.
Okay, come on. Come on. No, she's
No.
not doing it.
Boy.
I mean, here's the other thing to think about, though. This is different than like a shoot-off we saw last week in Leann, where you've got a 10 ring and the whole 9.
Right.
There's still a 9 ring in play that is very
Yeah.
easy in this circumstance to shoot, unfortunately. So realistically, it's interesting in this game because, you know, you're gunning for 11, but there's that scary reality that, like, it could be a 9.
2 points. Yeah, that's a 2-point swing. Boy, back to, I mean, they both posted 33s, and that's just, so we come out of that end, and you're still behind by 3.
Yeah,
I don't know.
it's too many. She needs to shoot for a 12 in this end for sure. If I were her, I think, because you're already down enough, it's going to be hard to come back. I'd almost shoot for it my first arrow, and if you hit it, put the pressure on Leann.
Yeah. Wonder if her coach is telling her that.
I know. Casey just said the 12's still in play. That's a subtle reminder. Not so subtle reminder. This is going to be a tough end. You know, Leann's been out here and she's already went through a final end, but that was just to move on. That wasn't to win.
Right.
She looks really solid.
11.
She's just not missing. Gracen looks pretty good.
She looks really solid,
she
too.
does. It's,
Both girls have a really clean shot,
Yeah.
really good form. Leann's got that really high finger out there on her grip with her hand grip. Mine's similar. Definitely interesting to see. She's got some nice contact there across the front. That was a clean arrow, too. Oh, no. Well,
now she
that-
looked back. There we go.
Yeah, now she's doing it.
Now we're calling it 12. Not Leann. Gracen called the 12. We'll see it here. Saying, she took the 12 out because it won't
See,
even
this
matter.
is the perfect time to shoot for it. You can get the practice.
And get the crowd something.
Yeah.
Crowd wants to see it.
It gives you, that way next year, if you need it, you're like, okay, I've done this.
I did it before.
But I can see her just wanting to make a good, strong shot to finish up. Oh, no, she did good.
Oh,
Wait.
she called it off. She called it, but turned
I
it
wonder
off.
if she didn't understand it had to stay on. Because I don't know if they said that. They said step on the button.
Well, and we should be clear that she...
Fair enough. Makes it exciting.
I mean, good for her. She smoked that
Yeah.
thing. Obviously, she intended to shoot it. I think that was probably just a misunderstanding of the
Yes.
rules.
I don't know if she can see the light, actually.
I
from
couldn't
where she
when I
is.
was up there.
You couldn't see
No,
it as
no.
the shooter.
Yeah, from the side we can see it, but it's not really bright enough for
Yeah.
There's spotlights on them that kind
Right.
of disperse that red light.
And there's 12s behind them, but they're not facing that way. We can all see the 12.
That's good. They gave her the 12. They
Good.
should have.
Good.
Well, this was another instance where we saw that number 2 seed pay off. I really feel for Gracen right now.
No.
Yeah.
I bet
I
you
would
if we
be.
saw
Well, great
Gracen
job. Congratulations
stay
to
for
both you
another
ladies.
match, she would have looked just as calm and cool and collected. So impressive shooting, though. I mean, I could see those girls. They're shooting the same scores we do out there right now.
Yeah, Leann just had a run of 33s there. That was crazy.
Yeah, that was so impressive. She shot an incredible score.
Well, Paige, that is going to take us out of Youth Female Open. We certainly appreciate your time here. We want to wish you the best of luck tomorrow. We're going to see Paige shooting in the Women's Open Pro tomorrow. Good luck there. We appreciate your time, Paige.
Thanks for having me.
All right, folks, that is Youth Female Open. We just finished up here at the 2023 Lancaster Archery Classic. Don't go anywhere, because when we come back, it's going to get loud in here. Women's Barebow is up next.